And first thing I'm going to give you is a list of vocabulary words that you need to review and should be able to match these with their definition on this test. Those words are illegal aliens, migration, naturalization, national, citizen. And these are in no particular order, by the way. Also, representative, refugee, government, dictatorship, population. The Stamp Act, taxes, commons, as in like the House of Commons, intolerable acts, and Congress. And then legislature, Declaration of Independence, common law, the English Bill of Rights, the Articles of Confederation. So I believe there's 20 vocabulary matching. They are in sets of 5, and those are the words that you need to be able to match. Some of the questions that you're going to need to be able to answer on this test, you're going to know why the colonies had to govern themselves before King George III started insisting on bossing them around a little bit. You want to know the difference between the Jamestown House of Burgess and the Mayflower Compact. You're going to know about citizenship and naturalization. What are the ways you can be a citizen? The steps in the naturalization process. We'll have a question about identifying if something is or is not steps in the naturalization process. Knowing whether the difference between an alien, a legal alien, illegal aliens, and so forth. We want to know why immigrants were welcomed in this country early on. Why are we called a nation of immigrants? Where did a lot of the immigrants come from between 1890 and 1930? There was a big block of immigrants that came during that time period. What about population migrations? The first great shift in American population took place from where to where? Think farms to cities, basically. If somebody has left their home where they are because of war or famine or political oppression, what is their status? What are they called? People who live here without permission are called what? You need to know what mercantilism is. That's one of our definitions. What was that British policy? In what document did the colonists declare that Great Britain no longer looked after their best interests? You're going to be able to put in chronological order First Continental Congress, the Articles of Confederation, the Mayflower Compact, and Shays' Rebellion. Find the dates for those 4 events and put them in order first to last. Know which one occurred first, which one occurred last. We want to know the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation. We want to know what were some of the arguments that Thomas Jefferson made in the Declaration of Independence. We want to know why the colonists used the slogan, "No taxation without representation." The House of Burgess was the first colonial attempt at what? We want to know the definition of a democracy. What are the roles of government and what's its most important role? Why was Shays' Rebellion important? What idea did Thomas Jefferson borrow from Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the French philosopher? After the Civil War, where did African Americans migrate to? In other words, move to? What is it called when they count the population every 10 years? After 1689, Parliament's power to make the laws and raise taxes and control the army came from what document? So 1689, there was a document written in England that gave the Parliament the power to do things. Unlike our government, the government of England doesn't have one of these things. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with something that's written down. Before the Magna Carta, who had the power to punish citizens before the Magna Carta in 1215? What do judges look at when they're under a system of common law? What is the basis for their decision making? Our laws about property and contracts and personal injury are based on what old system of law? The colonists brought with them the idea that people should have what? A voice in their government, written constitution, something like that. Then we have a couple of bonus questions. What's the current population approximately of the United States? How old do you have to be to apply for citizenship? Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? And the last question, how much do major tests count in this class? I think the correct answer to that is 30%. If it's not, it is now. So that is the quick run through of the questions that are going to be on our test for Tuesday. So if you want to stop and start this video, if you want to rewind it and listen to a question again and then look up the answer, you can do that. If you want to look up the vocabulary, if you want to maybe open up your list of notes, if you remember we had that big long list of vocabulary words, and put that on your screen and then play through this video, especially the first 20 words that I gave you that were vocabulary words, and find the word in the list, and then you don't have to write the definition down or whatever. So those are just some possible tips, strategies that might help you prepare for the test. And that I just gave you basically what the questions are going to be. Obviously, get your daily work done for the week, and you should be in great shape.